Henry. Number 8, David Merle Bruce. Number 9, Anderson Cordova Gonzalez. Number 11, Keegan Mora Bruce. Number 12, Mark Alfaro. Number 14, Ty Pepper. Number 20, Eben Leland. Number 22, Ethan Downey. Now we've asked that everybody rise and please face the flag for the playing of our national anthem. Good luck to both teams.
Thank you for joining us here, everyone, and a wonderful job with the introductions there as we learn the starters of both the El Dorado Wildcats and the opposing Circle Thunderbirds now as we await the kickoff here. A very exciting matchup here as both these teams are just a few miles apart down the road from each other. And another interesting fact about tonight's matchup, one of these teams will in fact be getting their first win of the night. El Dorado's current record is 0-9-1, with their most recent loss coming to the Augusta Orioles in a 10-0 defeat, and Circle's most recent loss coming from Mulvane in a 5-0 defeat. Now, head coach of the Circle Thunderbirds, Andrew Stouffer, out on the field with his team. Some final words of encouragement. Final moments of coaching here before the game will begin. Now both teams will take their positions before the kickoff.
Looks like Circle will be defending the south goal and the Wildcats will be defending the north. Kicking off.
And now as we await the signal from the official to go ahead and get the kickoff going. And El Dorado getting warmed up here just before the intensity heats up a little bit, passing the ball around a little bit. And this one going to go out of bounds on El Dorado as we will now await a Circle Thunderbird throw-in. That's number 20, Evan Lice there, keeping the ball in bounds for the Wildcats. And Circle had the control there of the ball for just a slight moment there, now trading possession back and forth. And Bo Rida there, the Circle was in control there, trying to put the ball in forward motion for the Thunderbirds. And again, Circle is in possession of the ball, trying to take it up the pitch and put one in the goal early here. And Dylan Hunter now of Circle, racing to get this one. And now a battle between Wildcat forwards and Thunderbird defenders to keep this one out of the goalie box. A foul will be called there, as this kick will be taken by Circle. The kick going to come from Camden Beam. And the big kick there, going right past Rida. And now El Dorado deep into their own territory, as this is the best position the ball has been in all evening so far for the Thunderbirds. And they're going to look to keep it in this position, and a bit of a collision there, and they will call that, I believe. Now as we await the penalty kick here from El Dorado, that's number 12, Mark Alfaro, going to be taking the penalty kick on this one. Taking this from about the 21-yard line or so, and sending this one in the air. And now Circle defenders trading this one back and forth, trying to keep it out of possession of the Wildcats. The Wildcats doing a great job to keep it though. And now back to Circle. And now a big kick there from Circle. No other forwards in the area though, as El Dorado goalkeeper E.J. Krug will take that one and send it back down the field. And a shove there from number 12, Mark Alfaro for El Dorado. No call on this one. And the game getting very intense and very physical early on here. And this one going to go out of bounds on El Dorado, as the throw-in will come for Circle from number 14, Eric Tucker. And Circle not quite able to keep a hold on this one. And El Dorado driving forward with this. And Circle going to grab that one up. Circle goalkeeper Austin Klein going to scoop that one off the ground and booting this one back up the field. Now another penalty here early on in this one. ball yet again here, going to roll out off of El Dorado, as the throw-in from Circle will come from number 3, Bo Rida. Now the throw-in coming from Eric Tucker. And that one's going to go out of bounds. Now as we await an El Dorado goal kick.
In for the Wildcats, number 7, Nathaniel Henry.
And that shot going just right there. That was almost a goal very early on here for Circle. And now El Dorado driving back up the field. And Tayden Morabruce with the kick on that one. Going to go right to Austin Klein. And booting this one back down the field. And Circle and El Dorado now battling for possession of this one to try and take it back up the field. And Circle going to send that one way out of bounds now as we await the throw in here from El Dorado. Coming from number 14, Ty Peffley. And right back out of bounds as we await another Circle Thunderbird throw in. And El Dorado driving through the defenders now. Fortunately, the kick there a little too strong as Circle will come back in possession of this one. And it will go out of bounds as we await another Wildcat throw-in. And Circle back in control of this deep into Wildcat territory. Krug is going to get to that one just in time, though. Great work from Wildcat defenders to hold Circle in their position and not allow that ball to get any further in there. And another tough collision there. Circle defenders taking control of this one yet again here. And now Ivan Iniguez doing battle with El Dorado to keep this one out of Thunderbird territory and trying to drive this one forward again, getting tripped up there just a little bit. And they will call this one on Circle. As we await the penalty kick here from El Dorado. It's being taken by number 12, Mark Alfaro. And the big kick there possibly could have been a goal, as Klein lost control of it there for a little bit, and other Wildcats were ready to pounce and put that one in. Not quite going to happen, though, as Klein would be able to hold control over that one, and now the Wildcats driving forward again. And not quite going to be able to keep that one in bounds. Now as we await a substitution here for El Dorado and Circle.
In for the Thunderbirds, number 4, Evan Swigert. For the Wildcats, number 17, John Cable. Number 4, Charlie Green. And number 25, Reese Knight.
And Charles Green, Sean Cagle, and Reese Knight among the Wildcats now to enter the match off of the substitution. And Evan Swigert of Circle entering this matchup now as Iniguez is looking to drive forward. Not quite able to keep this one in bounds, though, as it's going to go out. And another Wildcat throw in here will come, as we are now just over 12 minutes removed from this first half. And a big throw in there, right to a Wildcat defender, as El Dorado is going to look to drive this one back up the field, breaking through several defenders. Now great opportunity here if they're able to capitalize, and not quite being able to stay on their feet, and another push there. And Klein battling for that one, doing a good enough job to send that one going left of the goal. Very, very close shot there. Able to preserve the goose eggs on the board. And now this is going to be a Circle Thunderbird goal kick. Being taken by number 5, Camden Beam. And a big kick there. And are they going to be able to keep it in bounds? They will. They will call a penalty, though, on El Dorado. I believe that will be offsides. And Beam again with the kick here. And that one is not going to be able to be kept in bounds. Looks like that one just got away from him a little bit there, as Beam will take the throw in here for Circle. And a couple of substitutions now for the Thunderbirds.
Number 12, Zach Berry. Number 8, Carter Suby.
And Zach Berry and Carter Scobie among the two Thunderbirds that will now enter the match. And Alfaro got the pass there, not able to be kept in Wildcat possession, as Circle will get this one back down the field, and a big kick there going to go out of bounds on El Dorado. The throw in here will come from Eric Tucker. And that one going to go out of bounds on Circle, as we will await another Wildcat goal kick here, taken by Alfaro.
Wildcat goal kick.
And a big kick there, right to a Thunderbird forward, but not going to matter too much as El Dorado is able to regain possession. And turns it right back over to Circle. And Circle not able to keep that one in bounds. So that one will be kicked out. And an El Dorado throw in coming here. Number 3, Javen Hughes taking that throw in. And Klein scooping that one up yet again here tonight. And this time going to elect to throw it down the field. Wildcats will get to this one first and not able to keep, they will call that inbounds. Looked like it rolled out from here. So the momentum will not be stopped. And now Circle kicking this one back up. However, El Dorado regaining control of it. Now penalty on El Dorado as we await the kick here. And El Dorado sending this one up the field. However, Klein going to grab this one once again. And back into Wildcat territory. Wildcats going to try and stop the momentum here, and they will do so, trading it back and forth between each other. And that one going to go out of bounds on El Dorado. Now the Circle has a great opportunity here with the throw in, being able to choose where the ball goes, and they'll throw it right up the center there. However, not able to keep control on this one. And El Dorado driving forward. That's a lone Wildcat.
Wildcat offside.
However, El Dorado will be called offsides on that one, halting any and all momentum they had going for themselves there. Now going to await the penalty kick here again from Camden Beam. And Circle, a big kick there going out of bounds though. A big opportunity there. They couldn't quite come up with it. So we now will await another goal kick from the El Dorado Wildcats after a quick couple of substitutions.
In for Circle.
Number 15, Dakota Wilson for El Dorado.
And Goose.
And Ivan Iniguez
Wildcats, number 15.
for the Circle Thunderbirds here as this
Dakota
goal kick will
Wilson.
be taken. Going out of bounds again here. And another substitution here for Circle.
And for the Thunderbirds,
Coming in
number
now,
11,
number 11, Cooper Walls. And now a big drive here from the Wildcats, fighting several Thunderbird defenders though and breaking through each of them, passing this one over. And too much power on that kick there as they were continuing to drive forward. However, Austin Klein again with another scoop up here tonight. That was a great opportunity there by the Wildcats. However, they just came up a little bit short on that one. And now they can't quite decide who's supposed to be taking control of this one, as a couple of Thunderbird defenders and a couple of Wildcat forwards couldn't quite figure that one out. And the ball trading possession back and forth again. However, now number 4, Evan Swigert for Circle, and El Dorado's number 17, Sean Kegel, fighting over this one. And I believe they will call that a high kick, as a foot would collide with an El Dorado Wildcat forward. It's number 6, Cade Stackley of El Dorado would be taking the kick to his face there. Now the penalty kick sent off here, and another big opportunity by El Dorado. And that is going to be a Wildcat goal, scored by number 7, Nathaniel Henry.
Score for the Wildcat, number 7, Nathaniel Henry.
That takes a score of 1-0 now, with just under 20 minutes left here in this first half of action. Again, that was Nathaniel Henry with that goal for the El Dorado Wildcats, as Beam takes the goal kick for Circle. And it looks like they will remove that goal from the board.
In for the Wildcats, number 9, Anderson Cordova Gonzalez.
And as you heard there, now in for the Wildcats, Anderson Cardona Gonzalez. Now taking some time for a couple of Thunderbird substitutions.
Truman Magister.
And now the Wildcats driving forward with this one again. The kick too much, though, as Circle will regain possession of this. El Dorado now going to look to rectify the penalty on that last one, as it would be an offsides, and that's why it would be. That's why the goal would be removed. And a great save there by Austin Klein to keep that one out. And a great save there, great effort, as he will have to make a sliding save on that one. Looks like they will call that out on El Dorado. Now as we will await another Thunderbird goal kick again from Camden Beam.
There's an offside, El Dorado.
Now Circle making good use of their possession, sending that one up the field. However, too much power there, as it will go back into Wildcat possession. Of course, number 0, EJ Krug of El Dorado, scooping that one up and throwing it back down the field. And a tough hit there, as that ball will bounce off the face of an El Dorado Thunderbird. I believe that's number 14, Eric Tucker, that it collided with. Now taking a moment here to step off the field and get cleaned up a little bit on that one. And stepping in now for the time being, number 15, Dylan Hunter.
And for the Thunderbird, number 15, Simon Hunter. For the Wildcat, number 12, Mark Alfaro.
And the ball going to go out of bounds now on El Dorado, as the throw will come from number 19, Aiden Wendell. And that ball back out of bounds. And aside from the near goal a few minutes ago, neither team has really been able to really take control of this one and keep it on their side of the field. It's been a very, very dominant, not dominant, very even matchup here. Now as they're fighting for control of this one in the midfield, and a big kick there. Not going to be able to keep that one in bounds as it's out on El Dorado, and the throw in from circle for Evan Swigert. And now circle is going to look to take possession of this one. However, the drive up the field going to have too much power on that kick and roll out of bounds. It's going to be now a El Dorado Wildcat goal kick. And it'll be taken by number 9, Anderson Cardona Gonzalez. Like I was saying, it's been a very even matchup here so far, aside from the near goal from El Dorado. In fact, everyone here just about did think it was a goal. However, the referee, or official for tonight's match would determine that it was in fact offsides on El Dorado. So the goal would be taken off of the scoreboard. Now as El Dorado is going to look to drive back up the field and put the one back where it should be for him. And looking to do just that here. And timing is going to be off on the kick. Will be scooped up by Klein yet again, and great sportsmanship there between Klein and Maura Bruce from El Dorado, helping each other up there. Looks like it was a penalty on circle as well now, as we will await a free kick to be taken by number 7, Nathaniel Henry of El Dorado. Going to be shooting one-on-one here between Henry and Klein. And some of these types of kicks here are really just kind of mind games, you know, thinking to yourself, where exactly are they going to try to kick her? Are they going to go low, going to go high? Are they going to kick it soft and try to mess with me, or are they going to go full strength? We'll have to see exactly what they choose to do, and looks like they will go high right with it. Nathaniel Henry scoring that one off of the free kick. The score now 1-0, El Dorado leading circle with 11 minutes and 44 seconds left here in this first half. Great job there by the Wildcats to make good use of the free kick, as it would go high right past Klein. Despite the diving attempt, would not be able to save that one. Now, as the kickoff will be taken by the Circle's Thunderbirds from number 14, Eric Tucker. As we get the signal from the referee to go ahead and start here. Sending this one forward, however, El Dorado back in control of this one and driving it back up the field. And again, looking to try and drive and put a second goal in the net here tonight. Circle saying no way, though, and trying to drive it back up the field to try and tie it up. They're going to call this one, though, on El Dorado. Looks like this penalty kick will be taken by Camden Beam. And now just awaiting a ball. Finally going to get one there. Placing it now, and Beam is going to get the ball centered up where exactly it needs to be. The spot of the official. Taking a few steps back and gearing up to send this one down the field. A great kick there. However, Circle is not going to be able to capitalize on that opportunity, and it looked like that was almost a handball there from the Thunderbirds. Krug would grab that one up, though, before any Thunderbird forwards could get to it and score a goal of their own. And now another penalty on El Dorado. And that will be offsides, as before that ball could be kicked up the field, El Dorado was getting a little antsy there and driving their way upfield just a little bit early, so they would just barely be offsides on that one, as Beam will take another kick here. And another high kick going to be called on Circle, as that was almost another kick to the face. Now down under 10 minutes left here in this first half of action. El Dorado leading 1-0. That goal is scored by Nathaniel Henry. And missing the kick there, however, able to capitalize on it and regroup and drive it forward. And now another offsides call here tonight in this matchup. And this penalty kick going to be taken by Cardona Gonzalez. And the penalty kick being taken there, and was looking for number 17, Sean Cagle. Not quite going to make it to him, though. And Circle not able to keep control of that one, sending it right back to the Wildcats. And Circle driving forward with this one. Passing the ball back and forth. And making their way up the field, just barely able to keep that one in bounds. It was teetering on the line, however, going to go out of bounds there. That one on El Dorado, though. As Eric Tucker will once again take the throw in here for Circle. Circle trying to keep the ball in forward motion for themselves. Not quite able to do so as this one's going to go out of bounds. Not out on Circle, so yet another Wildcat goal kick will be taken here. And Krug sending that one forward. And El Dorado not able to keep a hold of that one, as that will go out of bounds now. And as the clock keeps ticking away here, we're entering the final 6 minutes of the first half as we await the Thunderbird throw in. And Klein kicking this one back down the field. And Circle is going to look to make good use of the final 5 minutes of action here in the first half. However, another penalty going to be called, as Mark Alfaro will be taking this kick here for the Wildcats. And the shot there going to be no good, as Klein will grab that one up and going to look to send this one back down the field. And no Thunderbirds in place for that one, as the Wildcats will battle for control. And back out of bounds yet again here on the Wildcats as a substitution for El Dorado. And that's number 5, Jakaya Warren, stepping onto the field here. It's a bit of a pause and step being taken there by Circle before the throw-in comes in, and racing to keep this one in bounds. Will not be able to do so, as they will call this one out on El Dorado. Excuse me, somebody called out on Circle. Apologize for that, as the goal kick will be taken yet again here by Cardona Gonzalez.
So get to safety stand. Go pop, candy, nacho, popcorn.
And a rather soft goal kick there. Going to opt to pass it over instead, and sending this one back up the field. And another penalty, calling for the ball to be placed back at around the 26-yard line. Now down under to 3 minutes of action. And E.J. Krug racing to keep that one in bounds, and will get the stop on it. And sending that one back up the field for the Wildcats. And Cardona Gonzalez getting the stop on that one. However, Circle regaining possession, not able to keep control over that one, is El Dorado now, as we will await the Thunderbird throw in. Excuse me, it looks like that's actually going to be a corner kick, as that ball will go out.
Number 3, Rita, the Thunderbird.
And a powerful kick there. And that one being sent back out of bounds. Now it looks like there's some confusion on the field.
In for the Thunderbird, number 2, Cole Bruce. And number 8 for the Wildcats. A third, Noah Bruce.
And it will be a goal kick for El Dorado here, as we just passed the 1 minute mark. And El Dorado driving up the field here, possibly going to look to put one more in the goal here before halftime. However, not able to keep that one in bounds, as with the final 30 seconds, we await another Thunderbird throw-in. And with just 10 seconds left now, Thunderbirds are going to look to rally and try to put just one final attempt. And offside's going to be called there, as the final seconds of the clock will run down. That takes us to halftime. The score of 1-0, Wildcats leading the Thunderbirds. Thank you for joining us. We will be right back after a brief halftime break.
defending the North goal, and the Wildcats South goal for the second half.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of action between the El Dorado Wildcats and the Circle Thunderbirds here tonight in El Dorado at BG Products Veteran Sports Complex. The El Dorado Wildcats are currently leading the Circle Thunderbirds 1-0 after a very close goal late in the first half scored by number 7, Nathaniel Henry. And Henry also almost had himself another very close goal early on into the first half of action. However, it would be taken back off the board because it would be ruled as an offsides on El Dorado. And now the ball kicked off here as the second half of action is officially started. And El Dorado has been so far the aggressor for this matchup. And taking a fall there, this one going to be called on Circle. But as I was saying, El Dorado has honestly been the aggressor so far in this matchup. At least in my opinion, they've been the more dominant team, been able to have better control over the ball and keep it in Circle's territory for longer amounts of time. And missing the kick there is Eric Tucker. And now Circle's going to look to capitalize as Beam will take a kick there. However, great work by El Dorado defenders to put their bodies in the way of that one and kind of deflect it, giving EJ Krug a much easier chance at grabbing that one out of the air. And if you're just joining us in the second half of action, something I noted earlier is that one of these two teams will in fact be getting their first victory tonight, as El Dorado will pass this one back to Krug and sending it back up the field. But as I was saying, El Dorado currently sits at 0-9-1, and the Circle Thunderbirds are currently sitting at 0-9. So one of these teams will in fact be getting their first victory tonight. And now it looks like we do have a down Thunderbird on this one. A little slow to get back up. And now going to stop the clock for an injury timeout. Now Circle coaching staff making their way over to the injured Thunderbird. Now going to walk off the field here with assistance of Circle Thunderbird coaching staff. Looks like they'll be favoring their left foot as the Thunderbirds and Wildcats, excuse me, I should say, will retake their positions on the field. And now awaiting the penalty kick. And that one is going to go just left of where they want it to be and fall out of bounds here, giving time for another E.J. Krug goal kick, or excuse me, going to be taken by Cardona Gonzalez, but saving E.J. Krug some time and a little bit of effort on that one, as they won't have to worry so much about it as this goal kick is taken here. And now too much power on that kick, not going to allow any time for any Thunderbird forwards to make their way up and have any chance at scoring that one, as it's going to be shot right to Krug, and Krug is going to boot this one back down the field. Oh, goodness. And a big kick there as Wildcats will collide with each other on that one, as the ball will hit an El Dorado midfielder square in the face, and looks like they're struggling a little bit on this one. I would be too, to be honest. That collided with number 7, Nathaniel Henry, El Dorado's only scorer for the night. And this will be our second injury timeout of the night. Looks like he will step off the field for at least a little bit.
Into the Wildcats, number 7, Keegan Moore Bruce.
And now taking Henry's place will be Tayden Mora Bruce, number 11. And now Beam taking that kick again. As Circle will aim to keep this one out of their territory, and that one's going to go out of bounds on El Dorado. That was out on Jakaya Warren, as the throw will be taken by Beam, and now Circle is going to look to try and drive forward, however not able to keep control over that one. And now El Dorado, possibly with a wide open shot from Mora Bruce, not able to capitalize on that opportunity. And a very physical game happening over there, as they will pull and tug at each other's jerseys. However, no call is going to be made on that one. No matter how much Mora Bruce asks the officials to call it, not going to happen. And a big kick there, right to a Thunderbird defender, and Klein going to have to fight a couple of Wildcat forwards to get that one out of the air, as the big boot will come. And looks like they will call that one. Tripped up a little bit, as now another Wildcat is taking a little longer to get up. Looks like they were just adjusting their sock there a little bit, as Cardona Gonzalez will take this penalty kick for the Wildcats. And of course, coming back from halftime, both teams will trade goals. And almost another Wildcat goal, going to go just left. But as I was saying, both teams will trade goals, as Circle will switch from the south to the north goal, and El Dorado from the north to the south goal here at BG Products Veteran Sports Complex. And you can see the replay there, just left of where El Dorado wanted that one to be. That was nearly their second goal of the evening. Looks like, though, there was a penalty on the play, as the free kick will be taken here by number 12, Mark Alfaro of El Dorado. And the last time there was a free kick taken on Austin Klein, it did result in El Dorado's only goal of the evening. So will it happen again as they gear up? And another free kick goal, this time low and left. That one by number 12, Mark Alfaro. The El Dorado Wildcats now up 2-0 over the Circle Thunderbirds.
Score number 12, Mark Alfaro, Wildcat.
And it does look as well like Austin Klein is favoring the left leg. Not quite sure when that happened, if it was on the attempt to get the save there or not. Regardless, that was El Dorado's second goal of the evening. Looks like these Wildcats are looking to make way for their first victory this season. Now as Ivan Ineguez will take the kickoff here for the Circle Thunderbirds. As we await the signal from the head official here, and there it goes, and the ball is back in play. And a big kick there, going to go left and out of bounds on Circle as we await another goal kick here from the El Dorado Wildcats.
Goal kick.
And it seems like through at least this half of action for these first 5 minutes or so, that Circle has had a little bit better control of the ball. They've been able to keep it deeper into Wildcats territory. However, El Dorado still having the only goals and points here on the board here tonight. Both of those off of free kicks. So we'll see if Circle can capitalize on their opportunities here while they've got the ball in Wildcat territory, and see if they can't put one away or not. As the goal kick is being taken there, Beam intercepting that, and El Dorado and Circle both jockeying for position. And another kick there with too much power on it, going to send it out of bounds. This time, going to call for a Thunderbird corner kick.
Number 3, Bo Rita.
And Circle, this is exactly what I was talking about. If they can counter on their opportunities where they've got the ball in Wildcat territory, possibly put one on the board for themselves. But for now, El Dorado going to regain position and drive right through all of the Circle midfielders. And if they can make it past the defenders, they can possibly get their third goal of the evening. And great work by Circle defenders there to stop that from happening and send that one out of bounds and halt all the momentum built up there. And now we do have a substitution here coming onto the field for El Dorado.
Nathaniel Henry.
And that's number 7, Nathaniel Henry, making his way back into the game. Of course, he's El Dorado's only scorer of the night. And it looks like this will be a Wildcat throw-in coming from Alfaro. And the official said he wasn't quite close enough to where the ball went out of bounds for that throw-in, as they will ask him to do it one more time. And the whistle being called again, it looks like it wasn't quite the overhead throw that the officials are wanting there, as the throw-in there will be given to Circle and right back out of bounds. Alfaro getting a do-over, and they're getting the momentum he needed on the throw-in to satisfy the officials. And a big kick there, putting it in the center of the field, and El Dorado almost being able to capitalize on that one. However, Klein scooping it back up, still favoring that left leg, however. And the kick there, not as powerful as we've seen it, of course, as that back driving leg for the kick is being favored by Klein. However, still being taken up the field by Circle and back down by El Dorado. And Circle back in control of this one, driving through, however, missing the pass there. Going to turn it back over to El Dorado, and El Dorado losing control of this one Alfaro racing to regain control there. Will do so. And passing it to Morrow Bruce. Over to Henry, and a couple of passes here and there. And Henry regaining control of that, and Klein able to stop it again as the kick wasn't quite what El Dorado was looking for, as it's going to go wide left. No other Wildcat forwards there to take the pass, so a bit of a shot on that one. And tough collision there. They are going to call the penalty. That one's going to be on El Dorado. A bit of a shoulder check on that one. And now just awaiting the ball to be used in the penalty kick. And checking out the replay here, we'll see exactly what I was talking about, bit of the shoulder check. And Thunderbird going to go down on that one, as well as take the penalty kick. However, El Dorado regaining control, losing control at the same time. Now as Cardona Gonzalez sends this one back up the field. Now down to 30 minutes left here in the second half. And El Dorado again with it. Some stop and go action to regain control. And Alfaro, if they can keep this one in bounds, they've got a shot. Not quite able to do so, as this will be yet another Circle Thunderbird goal kick. And Klein going to take this one. Looks to be walking a little more soundly on that left leg than before. Looks like they will opt to have Evan Swigert take this one, though.
For circle number 4, Evan Swigert, and number 12, Zach Barrett.
And Circle not able to keep that one in bounds, as they will lose control of it, as it will head to the benches. And now looks like Cardona Gonzalez will take the throw in here for El Dorado. And right back out of bounds is that one, this time out on El Dorado. And El Dorado not able to keep control over that, as it will go out of bounds, as the Thunderbird throw-in will come here deep into Wildcat territory. And we'll see if they can't keep a hold of it this time and possibly score their first goal of the evening. Doesn't look like they will be able to do so, at least for the time being, as El Dorado defenders and midfielders doing a great job regaining control of this one. And passing the ball up, a really big kick there. And Alfaro first to get to it. An open shot here. Klein going to get to it just in the nick of time. I'd imagine they were sweating a little bit on that one, getting a little bit nervous, as that would have been the third goal for the evening. And El Dorado not able to keep control over that one, as it's back in Thunderbird possession. And the Thunderbirds going to look to drive back up the field here. If they can keep this ball moving and have a little bit better control over the kicks, they should be able to put one in the goal, but we have yet to see that happen here this evening. And the throw in there, and a pass from Iniguez. And a very, very big kick there. Way too much power on that one. And the aim, just a little bit off, is going to send that one back out of bounds. And now it looks like we are just awaiting a game ball. And Thunderbird head coach Andrew Stouffer going to help out a little bit there and speed up the process of getting the ball back to the goalie box for Cardona Gonzalez to take the goal kick here.
Evan Lees.
Looks like number 20, Evan Lees, will step back into the game for El Dorado as that goal kick is taken. And that one's going to go out of bounds. Now as we await the Thunderbird throw-in from Evan Swigert. Was looking for beam on that one, not quite going to get there as it's back out of bounds on the Thunderbirds, and this time El Dorado taking the throw in. And El Dorado going to look to need to move this ball around a little bit more there in their own territory, as that one's going to go out of bounds on El Dorado, as the Thunderbirds will continue to hold the ball in Wildcat territory. And like I said earlier, if they're able to keep control over that ball and have a little bit more control over the power on their passes and timing, they could have themselves a couple of goals here in the near future, but for the time being, El Dorado is back in control of this one deep into Thunderbird territory. And Maura Bruce had that one, however, it's going to go out of bounds. And looks like it will be a Wildcat corner kick.
Corner kick, Wildcats, number 11. Tegan Maura Bruce.
And this corner kick going to be taken by Tayden Maura Bruce. And that kick going to go straight to Klein. They'll grab that one out of midair and pass it up. However, not able to keep control over that one is the Thunderbirds, as Maura Bruce is back in control of this one and look to get a goal of their own. And that one's going to go just left again. Several times here now in the second half has El Dorado nearly had their third goal of the evening. Looks like they really tend to shoot for that left side though, as I believe that's about the third time that that ball has gone just left of that goal. And now another corner kick here from Maura Bruce. And the pass over the center, not quite going to get where they want it to. However, El Dorado still in control of this one. And another shot just left there of that goal. You could see a little bit of a discombobulation among the Thunderbirds, as they weren't sure where the ball was going to be going next or who exactly had control over it. Now as Beam will take the goal kick for Circle. And they're going to call the penalty there on Circle. And Alfaro is going to be taking this kick here for El Dorado from the 35-yard line. And Klein, in a sea of Wildcats, was able to make the save on that one. Well-placed kick there. Had Wildcats in the area, just not quite what they needed, as Circle is going to come back into control over this ball. And sending that one way high. And the kick there, taken by Circle. And this ball back in play here as El Dorado's driving forward with it again. And we'll see if they can keep this one in bounds. They cannot, as that will go out of bounds on Circle for another Wildcat throw in here this evening as we are nearing the 20-minute mark. 3/4 of this game played through now. Now El Dorado and Circle fighting for control over this one again. However, as El Dorado is driving through, loses control over this one. Taken back over by Circle, and Circle driving way deep into Wildcat territory. Wildcat defenders doing a great job of that one though, to send it way back into Circle territory, and we'll see if they can't capitalize on this one. They will lose control over it though, and a little bit of anger being showed there from Alfaro over the simple mistake that one was, as we await some substitutions now. A few Thunderbirds and the Wildcat will make their way onto the field. Looks like number 3, Javen Hughes for the Wildcats, as well as, like I said, a few Thunderbirds will be making their way back into the game here.
15, Dylan Hunter. Number 16, Truman Metzger.
Dylan Hunter and Truman Metzger among the 2 of the 3 Thunderbirds. Now as the ball's back in play, and yet again bouncing off the body of a Wildcat. Circle's racing up the field there, however, loses control there and will be taken back down the field by El Dorado. El Dorado slipping on that, not quite able to keep their footing. And Circle yet again driving up the field. We'll see what they can do with this one. And El Dorado, they've done an absolutely great job tonight of not letting Circle hold on to the ball too long. While they have had it quite often in El Dorado territory, whenever that gets back into Circle territory and they try to take it back across that midfield point, El Dorado's done a great job of not letting that happen and regaining possession of that ball real quickly. As we'll see there, even though they'll send it out of bounds, they will halt the momentum that was built up as we await the Thunderbird throw in now from Bo Rida. And that one going to go out of bounds on Circle. And it's an example of exactly what I was talking about. If they can just have a little bit more control over their passes and their kicks, I think this could be a little bit different of a ball game. And Bean going to miss the pass there as Alfaro dribbles this one back up the field. Looking to pass this one over to Henry. Not quite going to get there, be able to make that pass, as it will be intercepted there by the Thunderbirds. And Circle, yet again, getting this one into Wildcat territory. We'll see what they can do, though. Not able to keep control over it. Fighting for this one, and the kick there, not enough power, just a little bit off. Gives time for E.J. Krug to scoop that one up. And El Dorado, in just a matter of seconds, has this one back into Thunderbird territory. And Henry already has himself a goal tonight. The kick not quite strong enough, and not quite on time for the pass, as it will be scooped up there by Klein. And Klein, having a tough time deciding where to send that one, will opt to roll it over to a midfielder. And Circle will see if they can capitalize with this one, as Beam passing this one back and forth with other Thunderbird forwards can't keep control of that one. And that kind of seems to be the story of the night for the Thunderbirds, as there will be a penalty on that one. Going to be called on Circle now as we await the penalty kick here from El Dorado. Number 15, Dakota Wilson, will be taking this one, or looked like they were going to be taking that one. However, looks like they will have different ideas in mind, as looks like Tayden Morabruce will make their way over there to send this one off for the El Dorado Wildcats. And the big kick there, and Klein just barely able to keep control of that one, checking on their fellow teammate as they will collide on that catch. Going to throw this one forward. They were looking for Tucker Patty on that one, I believe. However, not quite able to get to him and not able to keep possession of that ball, as it will be another Wildcat throw in here, as we have now passed the 15-minute mark here in this second half of action. You can see the collision here on the replay. Bam, right there.
Jonas Seesaw. Number 17, John Cagle.
Now a few substitutions here for the El Dorado High School Wildcats. And that one going to go just right and out of bounds. Now as the Thunderbird goal kick will come here. Now the goal kick here coming from Camden Beam. And now El Dorado driving forward, and the pass no good, as the timing will be off on that one. And now Camden Beam back in control of this one for Circle. Circle driving forward. And back out of bounds now. And a year ago, this would have been an absolutely great division matchup for the Ark Valley Chisholm Trail League. However, El Dorado would drop a division. So these two schools no longer in the same division there. Of course, still just a couple of miles down the road from each other are Circle High School and El Dorado. So I'm sure the tensions are still high here, as it is a Butler County matchup. And like I said, one of these two teams will be walking out of BG Products Veteran Sports Complex after the throw in there. One of these two teams will walk out of here with their first victory of the season, as the kick there, the timing of the kick was just off from Camden Beam. And the goal kick here going to be elected to taken by Cardona Gonzalez. Looks like he's El Dorado's resident goal kick taker. And El Dorado working to get this one back out of their territory. It's been down there for a good part of a minute now. And they will do that, however, losing control of the ball in the process. And this one's going to go out of bounds on circle, I believe. Couldn't quite tell who last had their foot on that ball. We'll find out here shortly, though. Does look like it won't exactly matter who touched that one last before it went out of bounds because of the penalty, and that's going to be taken by Camden Beam for the Circle Thunderbirds, as we are now down to our final 10 minutes of action here in this matchup between the Circle Thunderbirds and the El Dorado Wildcats. Now fighting over control of that, and they will call the penalty there. I believe that's going to be a pushing call, as this game's been a very physical matchup. Lots of pushing and shoving and all sorts of physicality here tonight. And Maura Bruce not able to keep control of that one. Now is El Dorado will look to take this one back up the field. Not quite able to do so. And I admire the soccer players at any level. I mean, they are not afraid to use any part of their body as a weapon. Head, foot, leg, body if they need to. I don't think I could do it, though, as El Dorado drives up the field and not going to be able to keep control of that one, as it is going to go out of bounds. And some substitutions here. And Ivan Iniguez back onto the field here for Circle, as well as several Wildcat substitutions. And now we're going to be awaiting the goal kick here from Beam. And sending it up the field, however, straight to a Wildcat midfielder. Now El Dorado is possibly going to look to try and put their third goal on the board here tonight in the final 8.5 minutes or so. And not going to be able to keep that one in bounds, as it will go out on Javen Hughes of the Wildcats now, as the Thunderbird throw-in will be taken here. Looks like it's going to be taken by number 19, Aiden Wendell.
I want everybody to know, after the game, we'll be recognizing the seniors for the Wildcats.
And throwing this one in. And a bit of a trip there. Looks like they will call the penalty on Circle. And the big kick there going to be taken from Alfaro. Too much power on it and not enough time for any other Wildcats to make it there and have a chance at scoring that. And Circle driving this one back up the field, but yet again here tonight, not able to keep control over their pass, as it's going to go right back into the possession of the El Dorado Wildcats. And Wildcats dribbling through Thunderbirds left and right. A big kick there. Too much power on it. Not going to be able to keep this one in bounds. Despite El Dorado's best efforts, that is going to result in a Thunderbird goal kick. However, this goal kick will come after a couple of substitutions here for the Thunderbirds.
In for the T-Birds.
Evan Swigert among the Thunderbirds that will be stepping back into the game here tonight
Number 12.
as we near the 6-minute mark here in the second half. And Circle slowly but surely running out of time here to try and tie this one up. Or possibly even get the third goal to clinch the victory here. As now a possible third goal, and that will be a third Wildcat goal, this time by number 17, Sean Cagle. It's El Dorado's third goal of the night with 5 minutes and 35 seconds left here in the game.
Number 17, Sean Cagle.
The Wildcats now have 3 goals here tonight, scored by Nathaniel Henry, Mark Alfaro, and now Sean Cagle. And as the sun is beginning to set here in El Dorado, the sun is also beginning to set on Circle's chances of getting the victory here tonight,
For the T-Birds, number 10.
as the Wildcats look to be closing in on their first victory of the season. And Klein going to roll this one out. And Circle avoiding the fourth goal to be scored on them here, as that one goes out of bounds. We'll take a look here at Circle's upcoming schedule. Their final 5 games of the season here. Saturday the 8th against Field Kinley. Tuesday the 11th against Buhler. Thursday the 13th against Hayesville Campus. Tuesday the 18th against Rose Hill. And Tuesday the 20th against Parsons. Circle's final 5 games of the season, as this ball is going to get ready to be thrown in by Beam. And as this one looks to all but bounce out of bounds, looks like this will be a corner kick to be taken now by the Wildcats. We will look at their final 4 games of the season. Tuesday the 11th, they'll be traveling to Rose Hill. Thursday the 13th, they'll be at home against Goddard. Tuesday the 18th, they'll be away at Buhler. And Thursday the 20th, they'll be away at Winfield, as the corner kick comes here from Maura Bruce. And too far left, as it will hit the side of the goal. And didn't quite get the curve they wanted on that one, or get to any other Wildcats to try and force that one in, as the goal kick looks to be taken here again by Camden Beam, as we near the 3-minute mark here in the rest of the game. And gearing up, and a big kick here. El Dorado just missing intercepting that. However, they will regain control of it rather quickly and almost lose it just as fast. However, Maura Bruce dribbling right through the defenders, and this time Circle coming away with it. However, going to send it out of bounds, and just barely actually, able to keep that one in. That one looked like it was going to go out, however, not quite doing so. That one will go out, though, on El Dorado. So we are now down to 2.5 minutes left here in this Butler County matchup. And Alfaro himself calling that one out on circle, as a good portion of the Wildcat bench will come in here to replace some of these Wildcat starters who've done a great job here of all but solidifying their first victory of the season.
Daniel Henry, number 25, Reese Knight, number 21, Delton Hall, number 10, Andrew Wilkinson, and number 4, Charles Green.
And it looks like the game clock has not been resumed here. There it goes, as that ball was in play for a few seconds before the game clock would be restarted. However, going to go out of bounds. Going to go out of bounds on El Dorado, as Beam will make his way to the goalie box to take this goal kick. Now down under 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go here in this matchup between the El Dorado Wildcats and the Circle Thunderbirds. And another big kick there from Beam. This time going to connect with the Thunderbird. However, losing control of it just as fast as they got it, as Henry, he's had himself a goal already, going to look to get the second. Not enough power on that kick, and the pass, if he was going for that, was just off in its timing. Giving it to Klein, who Klein is going to throw this one back down the field. Down to a minute and a half now. Score still 3-0. And Klein once again looking to favor the left leg a little bit. Opting to roll that one out to save a little bit of time. And Circle's trying to force this one forward and try to put at least one goal on the board here tonight. And El Dorado defenders, great job there is preserving that, as we're now down to the final 55 seconds of action. And Beam not able to keep their control on that one, as the El Dorado Wildcat defenders are just able to outhandle this one in a big collision there between a Wildcat and the ball. Looks like they will call that, as the kick here will be taken by the Circle Thunderbirds. Taken by number 3, Bo Rida. And Circle all alone there up in that corner, getting double teamed. And EJ Krug going to scoop that one up for the final 15 seconds of action. It looks like they're just going to try to wait this one out a little bit, as we are now down to less than 10 seconds. And the final goal kick from Krug and the El Dorado Wildcats, as that will be the game, ladies and gentlemen. A final score of 3-0, and El Dorado earning their first victory of the season. The goals tonight from El Dorado being scored by Nathaniel Henry, Mark Alfaro, and Sean Cagle. Everyone, we thank you for joining us here tonight. My name is Cade Warner. The pleasure of calling this game here, calling the first victory of the season here for the El Dorado Wildcats, as they will now have a record of 1-9-1, and Circle will move to a record of 0-10. Again, we thank you for joining us, and good night.